welcome to Gemstone Tarot. This is a kind of a spontaneous love reading, I suppose, but it's a difficult love reading. I get that. But I had to pull these cards. They sort of pulled themselves. So this is a message for you if you are drawn to hear it, okay? If you are not in the mood for some difficult messages, I would definitely click off because these cards are quite challenging. And I really want to put that out there because I know what it's like when you're in a delicate state and you want some, you want some comfort and reassurance. And I'm not sure this reading is going to give it to you, okay? So I'm just giving you fair warning. But if you are in a confused state and you want some truth about something and you're looking for this and you feel that you are really drawn to this, let's do it. Let's do it. Okay. Seven of Swords came out. And the Seven of Swords is it. When I did this, because I thought this was going to be a daily reading, to be honest, and then I realised it wasn't. I realised it was a romantic love, whatever message for somebody, maybe only one or two of you, and I decided to redo it because I realised it wasn't a daily. I had the pack like this, and one card was just sticking out the top. And I went in and fetched that card out, and it was the Seven of Swords. Now, the Seven of Swords on its own, of course, it makes us all feel a little bit weird, and, you see it and you think, who's lying to me? Oh my God, I've got the Seven of Swords. Oh, the Seven of Swords. It doesn't always mean that. When I get the Seven of Swords as a reader, I start looking for other cards to tell me which kind of Seven of Swords kind of a reading it is. Seven of Swords can be a card of self-protection, of needing to be wise, of needing to be political, of needing to be Machiavellian, okay? But sometimes you pull other cards with it that say to you, no, there's just some shadiness going on. And the other cards that I've pulled here are telling me that there has been. Three of Swords in reverse. Three of Swords is a card I'll be looking for when I've drawn the seven, and very often I'll draw them together if it's about difficult behaviour in love, about lies and secrets and infidelities, okay? Three of Swords is a card of triangulation. It's a deep card and it means sorrow and heartache. It also means there could be a third party, but way beyond that, it means triangulation, which is, it can be someone gaslighting you, it can be somebody playing with your mind, it can be somebody playing with your mind by playing with others, which makes it a third party card, but almost whether they actually have someone or not becomes less relevant than the mental and heart destruction that it is causing you at the moment. That is a message I get from this reading. That's why I said at the beginning, if you're not up for hearing this, click off, okay? Because with the Seven of Swords, I then pulled the Tower and the Devil. This Tower and the Devil together are a big, necessary epiphany about someone or something, okay? The Tower is a card, when you get it with the 3 and the 7, of breakthrough. Now, I like it, honestly. I do like it. It doesn't always feel great at the time. So for some of you, you've just found this out about your person, your significant other, whatever it is, whether they're an ex or a current person or whatever. You found out about cheating or lying or shadiness. For others of you, this is about an ex or a situation with somebody where you're going to have a revelation, whenever that is. Whenever you're viewing this video, you've either had it or it's coming. And that revelation is going to be extremely powerful for your own personal growth. But as we all know with spiritual growth, it never feels that dandy at the time that you're getting the revelation. It's harsh, okay? The Tower and the Devil go deep, big, scorpionic energies, Capricorn energies, and we have an eclipse coming up in Capricorn on the 16th of July, okay? The Tower and the Devil are energies that cause you to have truths coming in like lightning, whether you like them or not, buffeting the Tower of how you've supported your belief in this situation. Your belief in this situation may have centered around believing somebody's stories, believing their gaslighting, and believing their lies to a certain extent. But the bigger part of this revelation comes from realizing your self-belief was compromised. You were fooling yourself to a certain extent, or you were living in denial to be able to keep this going. Now, for some of you, this is someone who you were involved in twin flame relationships with. And I know that twin flame relationships are often held up in a very romantic light, but there are some that trigger us so deeply that the work they do for us in terms of clearances and blockages and moving us on from old ancestral family driven patterns is so good, but the pain is so difficult at the same time that people think you can't call it a twin flame, but you can, because it's holding a mirror to a very shadowy side of yourself, and that's what's happened here. Four of Wands in reverse, the twin flame relationship in reverse. So I've got in a diagonal here the Devil, the Four of Wands, the Seven of Swords. That is a difficult groove to cut. For some of you, this person, it's like it's cut a groove in your heart, literally pierced your heart with the Three of Swords in reverse. On the upside, she said, honestly, I want to tell you this is the greatest opportunity for shadow work you've ever had. It's the best opportunity for learning about yourself and not repeating this. It's a huge ancestral pattern interrupter with the Devil and the Tower. It breaks the chain. Look at the Devil card with these two people chained to each other and chained to the Devil. While you were codependently or toxically involved with this person, you were still reenacting patterns from your childhood, which were not healthy, which were not light, they were shadow. This is a relationship that's been on-off, it's been tempestuous, Seven of Wands. It's been sexual, and there's nothing wrong with things being sexual, but it's been sexual in a kind of a sort of addictive, codependent kind of a way. In other words, sex has been used rather than enjoyed, or sex has been, I don't know, it's just been a bit out of whack. It's been tied psychologically to shadow somehow, okay? Page of Swords, this person has kept you uninformed. This is someone who will have disappeared on you and been in and out. Somebody who, you know, look at how clear that is. This is what my friend calls emotional hygiene. Someone who's been unhygienically emotional. In other words, at times they've overshared with you and you felt like you had a connection, and then they've disappeared and you felt like it's a loss. Over connection and loss. If you are particularly empathic, which I think I'm talking to empaths here, because only empaths would still be watching at this point. I shake your hand. I really do, okay? I feel like I'm connecting to true empaths here. I feel like you have really drawn a shadow side. It's what empaths do, but sometimes it's quite hard to take. It's quite hard work to do. This is also with the Eight of Cups in reverse, someone who has not stopped coming back to you yet. They may never stop coming back to you and pulling on your emotional strings. Four of Cups in reverse. Yeah, let's take an animal spirit card, because more importantly, you may be in the thick of this. And just for a few of you as well, the Two of Wands in reverse. There may have been a notion of physically moving away with this person, or it may have been talked about and of course never delivered. Wow. We get snake. Now I'm just going to read this intuitively. Immediately I think of Ouroboros, the snake eating itself. In my end is my beginning, T.S. Eliot. And in my beginning is my end. I feel like, and I love the luminosity of everything that's lit, all the light work that goes on, okay, around this darkness. Look at the shadow on the outside and look how much light it creates. And look at this in terms of a cycle, okay? This is a cycle with this person. It has been, it may even be, can you see with all these little, like a mandala, it's like a concentric little, like spirograph used to be when you were a kid. I used to love that. There's loads of little mini cycles within the bigger cycle. You've been round the block with this person. It could be past life, karmic relationship. You've been round the block with them so many times, okay? This is somehow going to be illuminating for you. There's so much shadow in it. I would imagine that the clearance part of this will come during July in the eclipse months, okay? In the eclipse months. The other thing that I get for that snake is that, which is a really weird feeling, is that it's a kind of a snaking education. It's a cyclical education. I've just drawn 3 Chuck Spezzano love cards. These are kind of messages of hope, okay? I get adventure. This is about going out there again, dating again, being out there with others. That will happen, I think, over the next, and I've got 2 Seven of Swords, so I'm going to say 7 weeks, you're in a healing process. But actually, the darker the shadow, the lighter the light. You're going to get spat out the other side of this, and you're going to be ready for some full colour adventure. You may not feel like that at the moment. Then I get the Grace card of happiness. You can feel that again. You will feel that again. Okay? Very, very Technicolor love cards coming out. And Tryst, which is a secret meeting. I quite like this card. Sometimes I'm a bit suspicious of it, but it feels like it goes with adventure. In the doldrums and the depths of this very head manipulated relationship, you're going to feel like that could never happen to you again. And believe me, I can fully understand it. But this is just a little glimpse that it will, and it can. But for the next 7 weeks, you need to, and this is a really powerful, I'm getting so many downloads. God knows who this is for. Please leave me a comment. You need to retrace your steps back up to the 8 of Cups, which is a card of walking away. Some of you are weakening and you've changed your mind, or you feel like you could have this person back, or they might change. It's a feeling you've had in every single one of those little circles, okay? You need to retrace your steps to back up to the 8 of Cups, make it into the upright. Saturn in Pisces, sensible planet of Saturn, which rules Capricorn, which is the eclipse we have on the 16th of July. I hope I got the date right. Takes you back up the steps and away. Look at that eclipsing moon. I can hardly get my words out, which is not normal for me. I'm going to have to take a break after this reading. no. Do you know, to do this reading, I dropped all the cards on the floor. And to finish this reading, I'm dropping all the cards on the floor. Okay, and I'm being told to take those two. Yes. Okay. First of all, Sisters of the Seasons comes up, and this is about the cycles. Natural cycles, which we have in Snake, which lead you to the light, okay? So we have cycles of growth, natural law and divine order. Then we have the Ringmaster of Scrutiny, and this is about you and your own emotional hygiene, paying attention to your own details, discernment, clear vision and detail. That comes after, that comes within a couple of weeks. And then we're back to the Altar Priestess, which we love. Preparation, prayer and sacred ritual. So when you do get to the eclipses, you will be able to manifest much, much lighter experiences when it comes to love. Much more full technicolor rather than this shadow, okay? Thank you for sticking with me through this difficult reading. It is a difficult reading. If it's a message for you, please do feedback and leave me a comment. Do subscribe to the channel. Not all my readings are this shadowy. I do daily readings and monthly readings and pick a card readings, so do check those out as well. And I'll see you soon. Namaste.